Indeed, greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you so much for joining me again on another video. I really do appreciate your presence. If you enjoy what it is we're doing here, consider liking the video, consider subscribing, and do leave a comment. I try and answer every single one of them. Let's melt more into being. I've been... uh, let's do it again. Indeed, greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you so much for joining me again on another video. I really do appreciate your presence as always. If you enjoy what it is we're doing here, consider liking the video, consider subscribing, and do leave a comment. I try and answer every single one of them. Let's melt more into being. Man, I've been feeling a lot of things as of late. And I think the thing I'm coming to realize is that calming down and spending a little bit more time in a moment is much more important than, getting through the moment, regardless of what it is we think we should be doing and stuff like that. If that makes any sense. I do want to say something worth saying. But I wanna take my time with it as well. I don't want to be as rushed. I feel I rush myself so much sometimes. I, and I alone, am the source of what I experience and perceive. Yeah, we are. We are the sources of what we perceive. Because, this is something that was tripping me out. Last night, or just yesterday in general, with the start of the stream, I felt so uncomfortable almost in my own expression of self that I felt awkward. And I watched myself afterwards to see if I looked as awkward as I felt, and I was like, oh yeah. oh yeah. And I don't want to be living in that state. I don't want to be uncomfortable expressing myself the way that I'm supposed to be expressing myself. Hey, Aaron, I'm happy that you're here, my friend. I hope you're ready. Me and Aaron and Dreamer J are going to have a podcast together today, and I am thoroughly looking forward to it. It's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be really good. I look forward to hearing you speak again, having some chats with you, talking to you about the things that you've been through with your moving process. Yeah, I think Dreamer J probably wants to talk about, human biology again. It's something that has been fascinating me so much as of late. Just to understand that we're made up of these, thousands, millions, billions of cells that make up this single living, experiencing organism. And to me, it's hey Javan, I'm excited to hear your wise words, Aaron. I'm also actually excited, man. Aaron has some really wise words. He's definitely been through the ringer, as they say, and he's learned a lot. And I look forward to learning from him in turn as well. What I was gonna say, the whole of our of our bodies being made up of these millions of cells. In the same way, we're one of these billion cells that are living on this planet that could, in my opinion, have a type of consciousness of itself. So what I like to imagine is these cells. If you look at a picture of a cell, and there's now this new image of a cell on Reddit where they use a bunch of different imaging technologies to kind of come to the conclusion of what cell it is they're showing you. I love thinking about how the atoms that make up our cells are mostly empty space. It's also one of the things I like thinking about, my friend. We're mostly empty space. 99%, with a bunch of decimals, empty space, which is trippy because we can also not technically touch things. The atoms literally that make up a bug went almost straight into my eye. The atoms that make up our very hands are repelling each other right now. Otherwise, I would just be like, phase my hands through each other. And we would be able to walk through walls as well if we could truly control that expression. And it's so crazy. But what I would like to like kind of suggest as a thought experiment, if you will, is if this ability for our bodies to have these, billions and billions of cells that make up this coherent image of self, I wonder if these cells, for example, there are differently classified cells in our bodies, red blood cells, our immune cells, our white blood cells, we have platelets, we have, and then we have like different cells that are actually forming up of our actual flesh. And they also have different functions in the way that they kind of do the things that they do. So in my mind, I think it would be completely possible for a cell to kind of have some understanding of its function and its kind of place in where things go and how things work. For example, like a red blood cell knows that its job is to shuttle oxygen to other cells, where one cell kind of shuttles this oxygen and takes it to these other cells. Other cells would be the receivers of these oxygen molecules, if you will. So I believe just in that exchange, there definitely has to be an understanding that one is going to be giving and one is going to be receiving. So in that, I feel there could be a mindset of separation. And when I say separation, I like to think about the idea of us being, all part of one, and yet we have this separateness that we make ourselves think that we're apart from the rest. So I wonder if that is happening on a cellular level. And like there is this theory as well that is what cancer does. Like it's the ultimate form of that separation, where it separates completely to the point where it starts to produce like it's its own entity, and it starts to shuttle energy towards it so that it can continue creating more and more cancer cells. And in doing so, it kind of kills you, because it is literally this new entity that thinks of itself as something that's separate, inhabiting your body and using your resources to create itself. And yeah, it's a trippy thought to me. How often do you poo? Maybe like once a day, I guess. Odd question, but complete honesty, here we go. Almost took a sip of water. Yeah, but without setting an intention. I think my intention is just to, just relax, calm down. I feel that is what I've been lacking. I've not allowed myself to calm down, and I spent like 4 hours working this morning, cutting leaves from flowers, and I really felt that kind of gave myself like a lot of time to think. And I feel that when I'm thinking, or when I'm okay, it's like maybe they go together. When I'm doing busy work, I allow myself to think, and then when I really think, I want to be doing busy work. So I was doing some busy work this morning, allowing myself to kind of come to terms with the things I was feeling. Last night, for the first time in ever, I had so much anxiety, and I feel I was like so terrified of the idea of me losing myself. That was almost the mindset that I was going through. This feeling of, this is who I am, this is what I'm doing. Maybe it could be like seen as a type of ego death, but I didn't exactly think it was an ego death. But I had this anxiety of, wanting to be someone or something, and then not knowing how to actually do that, not knowing how to get there, not knowing what is it I expect of myself to be able to do that. And I was like kind of imagining myself into future scenarios, like, okay, then I'm gonna do this, and I was like going through these mindset of, okay, I have to prepare for tomorrow morning stream, this and that, and I realized that I was completely disconnected from living, just in general, because I didn't even allow myself to acknowledge the fact that I was in a state of anxiety, because I wasn't present with myself even in that moment. I was continuously thinking of, what is going to come next, what is going to come next. Like, and then also looking at what happened in the past, and then building what I want in the future from that past continuously. And I realized that I should stop doing that. I'm literally stealing from myself. Technically, I'm giving it to my future self, technically, but I'm stealing from myself in that moment, and I'm sapping the joy and the wonder from my lived experience because of that anxiety that I induced with inside of myself. And it's definitely not something that's sustainable. I can't. Not something we can do to ourselves, and it's something we do to ourselves, which is the craziest part about it. We do allow ourselves to get into these anxiety trips and terrify ourselves, and it's definitely, I think, in a lot of ways, our behavior can kind of lead to a point where that happens. But I also know that that can be triggered by the behavior of people around us, or the situation or circumstances we're in. But I feel anxiety, like, it's such a trippy thing to me, because the anxiety that I was experiencing was almost this sense of not being present with myself, and like being overly obsessed about what's going to come next and what's going to come in the future, where I think there is definitely a type of anxiety that makes you more conscious of the present moment, in the way that it's like almost like it's like what's the word I'm looking for, a sensual overload, where all of your senses are getting too much information, and that's why you're in a state of anxiety. And I never knew that there was a difference. Or at least I never realized, I guess would be the right word. So I'm very happy to have experienced both sides of that, and it kind of gives me it makes me wonder about anxiety as well, if it doesn't necessarily have to be something that makes us ultra present, because that's what I believed about anxiety. I believe that the reason you're feeling anxious is because you're becoming too aware of your present moment. But now I realize that there definitely are more forms of anxiety, and I think the anxiety of the future might be one that could be seen as a separation again from the current self. But then again, what do we know? Electrostatic repulsion is the name of the game. Electrostatic repulsion. Of course, of course. Biology exists, the chat. Yeah, technically we are biological systems creating digital inputs into these, cell phones of ours. It's not like consciousness, but there is a tendency in nature to give and take and tend towards homeostasis, while the universe as a whole continues towards disorder. That's interesting as well. Like, and that's, as you said, there is this tendency in nature, or in DNA biology, for them to, as you say, reach homeostasis. And homeostasis basically means state of equilibrium, where things are balanced, right? And we see that in our own human lives as well, that if we're in a state of imbalance, it like throws everything awry. And it's just a becoming aware of, I feel, at the end of the day. Anthropomorphize. Yes, that it's all a result of gene expression. I've been very curious about gene expression as well, because they have now proven that through meditation it's possible for humans to affect gene expression in certain categories, like cortisol gene expression and stuff like that. So you can literally change the expression of your genes through meditation, which is absolutely amazing to me. Which means this brain, this little, mush that's the consistency of jello, technically, has the ability to change what DNA gets expressed in my body, and in turn changes the lived experience that I get to live, I guess. Hey Edmund, I'm happy that you're here, my friend. It's just some biochemical processes based on differences in concentration and differences in concentration levels. Some of it might be, yeah. Smerkaber. I don't know what Smerkaber means, but that's an interesting word, actually. Greetings to all. Greetings to you, combatant duck. Scumgab. Yo, your Plant Litten playlist this morning was stonks. I'm happy that you enjoyed it. I think we listened to John Bellion and Milky Chance. Like Milky Chance is such a like a flowy type of, you know, just rhythmy type of music, and it was definitely very fitting for what I was doing. Have you eaten your crayons? No, I've never like eaten my crayons, and I've always wondered how kids manage to eat them because the smell that they give off is so nauseating for me. Like I can smell crayons in my head right now. I wonder if you friends can do it as well. If you hear the word crayon, you can smell that smell, right? How do you smell that smell and think, yee, I want to eat? Maybe children's ability to smell hasn't been developed that greatly yet. Ooh, I'd love to see some pics of your flowers. That anxiety sounds rough. It was rough. It was, and the thing is as well, Aaron, I think the part about it that was rough was the fact that I'm not actually used to it. It's not something I'm usually experiencing. So, and especially since I had like a preconceived notion of what anxiety is supposed to be, I definitely had a little bit of a disconnect with what I was feeling and what I was thinking and how I was perceiving the feelings that I was having as well. I'm happy that I I came to understand. Hello to you as well, Len. I'm happy that you're here, my friend. They taste good. I love you. I love you too, my friend. Uh, you're the man, Meld. Just be you. Thank you, Justin. This is the way, my friend. We can only be ourselves at the end of the day. Everyone else is taken. Good morning, Meld. Good to see you again, my friend. Hey, is it Demi? Demis? I haven't seen you in forever, my friend. Like, it's been more than a month at least. It's nice to see you again, my friend. I'm happy that you're back. Some of us are also more prone to being trapped in loops of distorted thinking. Anxiety really accentuates the distortions we perceive about ourselves. You're very right in that, my friend. Very, very right. And I agree completely as well. I think it is a way of our consciousnesses to kind of get caught in, as you say, in a loop, and we literally have this distorted, thought, if you will, and then we kind of apply that distorted way of thinking on top of that distorted thought, and then we have another distorted thought that is a co-creation of the previous distorted thought, and then we continue co-creating with that as the basis. Like, I kind of like thinking about my mind as this like torus field as well, and then as I throw things inside of it, it kind of like loops over itself, and then it continues to recreate this energy field that I've put into it, but it like extrudes it and pulls it out in different ways and makes me feel different things about it, experience different nuances. It's definitely helped me to be more aware and more diligent with what I put into this field of consciousness that we share as well. So yeah, I just think it's a practice. Getting good, my friends. Getting good at the end of the day. Some of us, I already read your comments, sorry. Hey guys. Hey Edmund, I'm happy that you're here, my friend. I think I've already greeted you, but I want to greet you again because I see you greeting again. Sometimes I hyper focus on why anything is even happening, why anything is even anything, when everything could be nothing. I've been able to create existential dread this way since I was a wee lad. Yeah, Bong Force, Bong Force Trauma. That's a cool name. Like, I think it is this. You can probably hear the tractor. It definitely is this mindset of, there could be nothing, and yet there is something, and like it kind of, in a little bit of a way, merges with this. I guess you could say it mindset or quote or mantra, whatever you want to call it. I've been trying to practice in my life of I need do nothing, to come to the realization that we don't have to do anything. The universe, there doesn't have to be anything, and yet there is, and yet we do want to do things. And I think that's what's important at the end of the day. It's coming to realize that there could be nothing, yet there is something. We could do nothing, yes, we could do something as well. And it's just in a choice. Have you ever smoked weed? I have, my friend. Anxiety is natural and has its purpose. What we do with and how we're processing it in the modern day is not natural. You're very right, Rena. You're very, very right. Because people definitely have, in my opinion at least, a distorted sense of where they are in this whole process of anxiety, and people even feel anxious about sharing their anxiety, which is backwards. It doesn't have to be that way, and that is also why I feel it's important for me to share this as well, to be open, to be honest with myself, with you friends, because as you say, Rena, it's definitely not been healthy the way society has been dealing with anxiety. And the thing is, as well, I think society definitely chucks up anxiety to be something that is completely, that person's problem. And at the end of the day, like, there's not much that you friends would have been able to do to help me through that anxiety feeling I was feeling. But I did have the capacity to come to a conclusion almost with inside of myself. But I also understand that I kind of held myself with the understanding that I had friends that care about me, that love me still, regardless of the way that I was feeling about myself. So it's a very difficult balance, I feel, for us to find between helping each other through these difficult anxiety inducing moments and allowing each other to grow strong and deal with it ourselves. It's difficult to find that balance. Anxiety kept our ancestors alive. Now that we don't quite have to defend against mastodons, it can be quite maladaptive. Yeah, it is. That's the thing I'm thinking as well, my friend. I think it definitely is like some of the remnants of our past lives. Like, I think for a lot of things it is that way, and a lot of the things that we're doing right now as a species, or at least for the last 10,000 years or so, is definitely behavior kind of rooted in our old selves, our more primitive selves, like our need to survive, our need to protect our territories, our need to be powerful, to protect our tribes. But we don't have to do those things anymore. There's no longer a lack of resources. We no longer have a small territory in which there are only that many berry bushes, only that many deer, only that much fresh water. Like, during those times of existence, it makes sense to develop a form of living where you're, constantly in opposition, constantly defending, constantly fighting. But that is not the society we live in anymore. It's not the mindset that we can be practicing this. I'm gonna keep as much for myself and try and accumulate as much security as I possibly can, because that's going to make me happy. And that's what we see a lot with these, ultra wealthy people. Like, I can. This is something I have a little bit of turmoil inside of myself as well, because I do want to have a comfortable life and be able to afford the things that I think I want, right? And that's I'm saying I think I want for a very specific reason, because at the end of the day, nothing I've ever bought to myself made me happy. Not in the long run, right? And you can think about this as well. So being able to buy the things we want, like having a home of my own, having a car of my own, like, these things are going to be comfortable and I can use them as tools for my further development. The tractor is coming closer, so it's probably going to be loud for like another a minute and a half or so, and then it should be done. But the point I'm trying to make is that even if I can afford myself a proper home, a car to drive, if I could afford plane tickets to go to different countries, these things aren't going to in themselves bring me any happiness. And even though I have that security in itself isn't what brings us happiness. It allows us almost a foundational ground in order to build on ourselves and to kind of achieve happiness within inside of ourselves. But it isn't going to be the source of that happiness. So for someone to like kind of get to the point where they're living comfortably. And this is the point I'm trying to make. Like if you live comfortably, you have a place to stay, you have a car to drive, you have the means to feed your children, send them to college, you have the means to afford your life, you know, your life expenses, stuff like that. Like, why do you need $600 million on top of that? That's the question I'm asking myself. So I just think maybe people are stuck in their need to feel secure. Maybe they're stuck in this need to think that they're, if they have, you know, X amount of money. And I think that's the problem as well. Our human brains, I don't believe, are really equipped to constantly have numbers shoved into it. And with the way that our society has worked as of late, with social media, with us working for currency, with everything we do, with the books we buy, the fuel we put in our cars, the numbers we call each other on. Like, fortunately, texting doesn't have that much numbers in it, but almost everywhere we look, and especially if you're going into a career with like content creation or something like that, you're forcing so many different numbers and different measures of numbers into your brain, and numbers don't at the end of the day bring us happiness. So like, even if you were to imagine, like, if you think right now, like, instead of X amount being in your bank account, think 50x being in your bank account, so you know how much you have, you know how much 50x of that would be. That thought in its own doesn't bring you happiness, and it wouldn't. It's not going to. But what you could do with it, maybe would bring you happiness. And that's the point at the end of the day. This is something, man, I keep picking up my glass of water and then putting it back down again because I'm getting into rants. I see you're here as well, Ryan. I'm not ignoring you, my friend. I'm getting to your comment. So, like, last night I had this conversation with my little brother. We were having a conversation about an old teacher that he still has class with, but that used to absolutely adore me. And I kind of mentioned that I think she was the only teacher that actually liked me, because I think she saw through my bullshit. So we were talking about her, and my little brother was like talking about the reason he doesn't like her. And he was talking about something like, oh yeah, there was a birthday kid who had like a little bag of sweets, and then she asked if she can have one. And he like asked me, so what would you say if she asked if she can have one? I'm like, I would say yes. You know. And then he's like, oh, but it makes me feel awkward of her asking it. And I'm like, yeah, but did you hear what you just said? It makes me feel awkward. It doesn't, you know, force awkwardness on top of me. It makes me feel a certain way. And at the end of the day, that feeling is a choice. And then he went on to like talk about, like, oh, it's my candy. It's my sweeties. So act with it yet. And I was like, is it really yours? Like, if you think about it, like, you might eat it, and the energy is going to be used, and then you're going to excrete the stuff you don't need of it at the end of the day. And if by giving it to someone you can make them happy with our understanding, or at least our attempt of understanding what unity consciousness is supposed to be, then by giving that candy to someone else, at the end of the day, you're still eating it. You're just not eating it with your body. And he was like that doesn't make any sense. So I was like, okay, let me put it in a new way. If you, in this moment, and I want you friends to think about this as well, if you could in this moment become the only person in the entire world, which in turn would mean you own everything in the entire world, all of the sweets, all of the money, all of the cars, all of the nice houses, all of the beautiful scenery, all of it is yours, but you're completely alone. Do you think that's going to be an existence in which you would be happy? And there might be the introverts among us that says, oh yeah, of course I'd be happy. But I can guarantee you, you might be happy for like a year at max. And then you're going to be like, you know what? This being the only person on the entire planet is actually pretty ass. And I asked him, why do you think that is? And he was like, I don't know. I'm like, because you literally don't have anyone to share it with. So if on a like an extreme level, if we could have literally everything in the entire world, we would be unhappy because we're unable to share that with someone else. Why aren't we sharing amongst ourselves from that place already? Huh? Like, do you understand that, at least the feeling that creates it inside of myself? If on an idealistic level of being able to have everything, you wouldn't be happy because you can't share it. Why aren't we sharing more in this moment? Even though it's not, I'm not idealistic. This is what we want to be doing. This is the ability we have to love one another, to share with one another, to create in co-creation. I made it today. Some things have came up in my life that kept me from being here yesterday, and for just a few today. But no, I love you, brother Bear. Thank you. I know you love me, Ryan, and I love you as well, my friend. And I know that you're busy, and I'm patient. Whenever you're going to be back, I always love having you here, my friend. Future space warfare defense, right, bro? Ah, man, I really hope, I really hope that by the time humans become spacefaring citizens, a spacefaring civilization, that we're beyond the point of having war. Man, it's stupid. So, oh my goodness. Oh, it's hurting my brain just thinking about the stupidity of that. Like, there are infinite. Okay, so I think people don't understand what infinite means. Like, infinite is okay. So this is a great way to understand an aspect. Like, this is a verbal representation of what infinity could mean. If you had an infinite amount of monkeys just pressing buttons on an infinite amount of typewriters, in that infinitude, every single book that has ever been written is going to be written by those infinity monkeys pressing infinity random numbers or random letters. So, you understand how trippy that thought is? So, infinity is something that we can't really wrap our heads around. So, and then we have this infinity of space, right? It's just about infinite. It might be finite, but it's just about infinite to the scale that we are at right now. And then you want to kill yourselves, like literally expressions of you, because they want a piece of the infinite that you wanted. Oh, please. Oh, please. Please, no. I hope, I believe humanity is smarter than that. Like, imagine it, dude. Like, literally, if we like mine one asteroid, we have enough resources to like wax the entire planet forever. One asteroid. So why, why would we have space warfare if there are an infinite amount of asteroids out there? Man, I just like, I hope war just stops, dude. We have so much abundance in this universe. So much abundance. Fighting about resources is so unevolved. At least in my opinion. You know about electrostatic beam field, Brown effect, Liftercraft. No, I don't know about that actually. What country are you in? I'm in South Africa, my friend. Morning, Melt fam. Hey, management Annie. I'm happy that you're here, my friend. Mel's in South Africa. That's the right. Is Australia a real country? It is, but I don't know for sure. I haven't put feet on it. We will never know, I guess, until I do. It's true. Your brain has a direct effect on your physiology. It really does. It really does. And it's a trippy thought, actually. It's pretty crazy how powerful we are in that way. Asymmetrical capacitor thruster effect. Yes, I agree. Asymmetrical capacitor thruster effects are the best. Yes, Australia is a real country. A land down under. Yee, there we go. I was only able to catch the trimming stream for like 5 or 10 minutes, but it was a vibe, man. I'm happy that you appreciate it, Edmund. We should have Shane judge me a little bit, see if I have trim game. I have really bad period right now, and shitocalypse to go with it, horrible bowel pain and shit. I'm so sorry, my friend. That sounds absolutely tragic. I believe in you. I believe in your resilience. I believe in your strength. I believe in your ability to weather the worst and come out stronger and more beautiful at the end of it. I just came here and people are talking about crayons. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the crayons, dude. I'm not. I don't know. I have never. If you are asking me, really, I can't remember the name of crayon I used, but it was for body, and I took mind for work. Okay. No, I never ate my crayons. I used color pencils. Well, yeah, I ate my color pencils, not my crayons. A spooder has come to visit me. I do not know how to deal with this. It depends, Lane. Is it a big spooder? I want to send you a picture of the spooder that lives with my plants. Yeah, it's a big one. A real big one. When was the last time you cried? Was it last night? Did I cry last night? I don't think I cried last night. Did I? Yeah, maybe last night. Maybe the day before. I'm not too shy about crying. Our minds put us in a very comfortable position. Our minds put us in a very comfortable position. They can also put us in a very uncomfortable position. I've noticed so many colors colliding on your attire, homie. So cool. I'm happy that you appreciate it, my friend. It's like these are one of the more comfortable shirts. It has a little bit of give. It's kind of soft as well. It's a nice shirt. Thank you. Like I don't know exactly what to say about the clothing compliments other than thank you. We have to do the stuff we don't want to do. Yeah, we do. Doing the dishes, making our beds, cleaning our bathrooms. And we don't want to do it, but at the end of the day, it has to be done. And you're going to do it nonetheless, regardless. Even if another person does it, it's still you doing it. I found a spider yesterday, and I set it free. I don't want to kill anything in my life, even bugs or spiders. I've been feeling more and more of the same way, actually. But I have, for some reason, a predisposition to some spiders, where if I catch like a cricket, I would want to throw it into the spider web. And I don't know if that's evil. I don't feel it's evil. I think in my mind, I'm helping the spider out, giving him a meal. That spider to me. So, and that's the thing with the contrast of this existence we're living as well. To me, that is like a worthy experience of saving when it comes to the spider's perspective, but it is an experience of betrayal and uh, contempt almost from the cricket's perspective. And to me, I feel I'm neutral in it because I'm just feeding a spider, and that is the intention behind it. Does that make sense? I hope so. I'm in a strange position, Ryan. My cat is laying on me, and now the spider is in my jacket on the floor. Oh, you were watching it, Lane. Like, how big is the spider, dude? Where in the world? South Africa, dude. I don't want to move with my jacket. Oh, wow, what a beautiful background. I'm happy that you appreciate it, my friend. I love this tree so much. Pick up Kitty, put a box over the spider, and set free later when it crawls to the top. I hope that is helping. I hope so as well. Melting together, friend. We are indeed. Oh, Melt Lord 44? Like that's a trippy combination of things. Because the number 44 is a number that I strongly associate with and I see a lot. And I don't know if your name was Melt Lord before you started watching the streams. Maybe you knew that I liked the number 44. Maybe it's all a part of your secret plan. This is what happens when you let white people say namaste. Yeah, absolutely, my friend. And namaste to you. The world is so fast past. We have to remind ourselves to slow the fuck down. Yeah, we really do, my friend. And this is something Toasty helped me recognize and realize yesterday. And I was very grateful for it. We should be slowing down a little bit. And I feel like I'm too slow today almost. I'm so far behind on comments. But we'll get there. Alright, I'll be back. I'll see you in a bit again, Lane. Word, Lane, you're the superhero for doing this, brother. Yeah, you're literally saving a spider. Mental health is mostly looked at like addiction, not bad upbringing or sickness. Anyone can be homeless, yeah? The mind is stronger than the body. Thank you for recognizing that humanity is in a massive transitional phase as we enter a post scarcity world thanks to technology. You're becoming a good speaker. Think about a podcast. Thank you, my friend. We have a podcast actually, Unfriend. So I look forward to having you maybe on the podcast or having you listen to the podcast. We're actually doing a podcast today. And thank you for recognizing it as well. Intro to cannabis. Like, this is the way, my friend, where I believe more and more of humanity is coming to this realization that the scarcity mindset isn't going to be what, pervades. It's not sustainable. I just read an article about how the rich 5% of the world have created 37 of the emissions. I believe that 100% as well. Yo, dude, hey, fun cryptographer. I'm happy that you're here, my friend. The mind controls you, you must control it. Absolutely. The mind should be the servant of the heart, not the other way around. Because of their rich lifestyles. It makes sense to me. Completely, Ryan. Okay, I stood up and immediately the spider ran away. If that isn't a sign of I'm afraid of you, leave me alone, I don't know what is. I'll let him be. Yeah, he is afraid of you. Like, significantly more afraid of you than you are of him. And, yeah. Like, spiders are actually kind of cute. In some ways, like, I look forward to showing you the spider that I have in my garden. It's not the cutest spider. It's these golden orb weavers. I think that's what they call them. They have these yellow webs that are extremely powerful, and she's big, like maybe that big, like with her legs touching, and then she has like a thumb-sized back. Big spider, but they don't bite, so I'll chill with her. Hey Dan, I'm happy that you're here, my friend. Good morning to you as well, because I want to be rich. Being rich, my friend, starts from in here. Money doesn't make you rich. Unfortunately. It depends on if you're putting the money to good use by donating to good causes. You don't even have to donate to good causes, my friend. I think what's more important at the end of the day is how you decide to spend your money and how you use it. Like, if you're going to just be putting your money into a bank account and letting it accumulate and accumulate further and further, then that's something I believe is being wasteful. But if you're going to be reinvesting that money into your community, into your friends, into your business, into stuff like that, stuff that is going to help the global economy, the unity consciousness, then it's being utilized for the right reasons. The only question I'm having right now is, where do I get one of those shirts? I bought it at the mall, my friend. It doesn't even have any logos on it. Like, it's that generic. We need to make a huge cultural shift away from opulence and towards mutual support. I agree completely, my friend. That's what we're doing here. Literally what we're trying to do here. There's always a positive way of looking at alternatives. We see a bum, give him $1 and don't even talk to them. We see a bum, give them $1 and don't even talk to them. Like, that's something I've been trying to do a lot more of as well. Is actually talking to people that have been in like a horrible position. And this is something that happened, I think this Sunday past. Yeah, this Sunday past. There was this guy at church that came, and my father noticed that he's been, dressed in the same clothes, and he went up to him, asked him like, what has he been up to, what has life been, how has life been treating him, basically. And he told us that he like the only meal he's had for the longest time has been the cookies at church, and that he had a job, that he was planning to move, I think, to New Zealand, sold his house, sold his car, sold everything, and then it was the epidemic, so he wasn't allowed to leave the country, wasn't allowed entrance in the other country. They had nothing, and then they had to survive. They had to continue living, so they spent all of the money that they got from selling their house and selling their car, and now he's in a position where he doesn't have a job, he doesn't have a place to live, and Like, fortunately, my dad could help him and connect him with a friend that works in the private military, or private, not mercenary, private security. There we go. They're almost like mercenaries and military more than security at the end of the day. So yeah, like talking to someone, even just listening to them could help them as well. And it's sometimes difficult to actually just come to that realization. You're right. You're right, Ryan. I look forward to not buying any more clothes though. I want to, if I'm going to continue, like if I get more clothes, let me say it this way, I want it to be clothes that I either make for myself or clothes that I have created of a brand, because I believe in like in a some way as well that when you wear a brand's clothes, you also in a way are embodying the message that they kind of teach. And like Nike, Adidas, Apple, well, not necessarily Apple. People don't really wear Apple shirts. Maybe some of them do. But let's say Nike and Adidas. Are you, in your mind, 100% behind the message that Nike and Adidas kind of puts forward to the world? And by wearing a big Nike logo over your chest, you're supporting, like, oh look, Nike, go and buy Nike as well. You're being a living billboard. So if I'm going to be a living billboard, I hope to be a living billboard for something that I believe in at the end of the day. That's why I like these shirts, is because they're not trying to send a message. They're not trying to be something other than clothing. They might be a little bit flashy, but nothing other than clothing. Hey yo, give a word for that. No awards needed, my friend. No awards needed at all. Hello mate, how are you? I'm good. Goats, sheep, cows. Happiness is temporary. Everything is temporary, my friend. That sound was bird. Yeah, I can think it's probably bird. And then there's the dogs barking as well. Money can't buy happiness, but it sure can reduce sadness. It can't reduce sadness either. It can give you something to fill the hole with, my friend, at the end of the day. That's all it's gonna do. I began to realize a few years ago things do not equate to happiness. And I've been much happier looking to create experiences I will remember and cherish much longer than the things that will go away much sooner. That's the perfect way to think of it, my friend. And I've been feeling the same way like about things as well. And I've told this story. For me, it was with the purchasing of my dream computer that I realized that nothing, no thing is going to give me the happiness that I'm looking for. What? How? What, dude? Well put, Temi. I agree, brother. I agree as well. Sweeties make me think of District 9. And like, it is a South African movie for a reason. Questioning a kid. He's 17. Like, I don't think he's a kid anymore, but I guess some of a kid. There was a great philosopher, Epicurus. He studied on the reason behind happiness. If you would like to, you can look into his findings. That sounds pretty cool, actually. I'm pretty interested. Oh, that voice? My voice? I'm happy that you like it, my friend. I don't have too much control over it. In Brazil, it's an honor to get the first slice of birthday cake. I actually know about that, and I've saw this like absolutely beautiful video where I don't know if it's just an honor, and like obviously it's your culture, but in the video it said you give the first piece of cake to the person you love the most as the birthday kid, and this kid was like cutting cake, and his little brother was standing next to him, and he gave the first piece of cake to his little brother, and his little brother just bursted out into tears and hugged his big brother. And it's just, man, you see, like doing stuff like that, completely giving love to someone else, even at that young of an age. Like, the kid was probably 3 years old. He understood exactly what that love meant, and it makes me so happy to see us moving into that direction. Watch that Will Smith movie where he's alone, the zombie one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like there were zombies as well, which makes it a little bit, extra uncomfortable. But I agree. I would never want to be alone, because loneliness and being alone is my only fear. It do be like that, Ryan. Like, and that is almost like our psychologists know that as well, and it like kind of beats on that nail of wanting us to feel alone sometimes. And I don't know why necessarily. I Am Legend. That's the movie. You're right. It's a love-hate thing with me, with loneliness. That's why I said, unfriend. There might be one of us that says, "Oh yeah, I'd like that," but spend a year alone, like this is something that happened to me actually. I'm an extrovertic introvert where I'm very comfortable spending time with myself and being alone. But when I am in a social setting, I'm an extrovert, if that makes any sense. And when I went to China, I had a lot of time for myself, and I kind of enjoyed that time I had to myself because I was working with children as well. And then I went into lockdown, and I wasn't able to see anyone for like 5 months, like literally not a single person for 5 months. And then I realized actually I have I really don't want to be alone at all. Mm, I'm used to being by myself, but I know I need people in my life. You have people in your life now, my friend. Join us on the Discord. Join us on these streams. We're not lonely if we're here, right? If you're homeless, then everyone will give money. If you are homeless, then everyone will give money. Like ideally, I would like for our society to have complete catching systems. Like if you do lose your job, you do lose your house, there should be like literal systems in place that can help you integrate back into society. And it's not that difficult. All we have to do is get our governments to allocate resources efficiently. That's the only thing. Eat indeed. No one ever satisfied. Always wants more and more. That is I believe the root of our existences. But we have root, then we have sacral, then we have solar, then we have heart, and that's the one we want to reach. Then we have throat, then we have third eye, then we have crown. So by living from our heart, we live in a more balanced way because we have all of these, base or initial human instincts at the bottom of it, and then we have all of these higher human instincts above it. And by living in balance with our humanity and our divinity, that is how we completely change this world, at least in my opinion. And if you live from the heart, you realize that there is no need, there is no thing that needs to be satisfied. Infinite, no end. Yeep. How you think we got here? We are never satisfied. Yeah, like as I said, my friend, unfortunately, war is inevitable in this world and lifetime. I do not agree, and I hope that things will change. War is meaningless. Yes, there we go. I feel the same way, friend. Only thing is my cup hasn't been filled so that I can give to all. Not just yet, Ryan. Our cups haven't been filled just yet so that we can give to all. Gorgeous shirt. Man, like this shirt is doing well today. I'm happy that you friends appreciate it. By by definition, in order to win or succeed, someone must lose or fail. Yeah, you see, I don't agree with that at all either. Because at the end of the day, there is something like team sports where there is no, losing of that team. And I know, like the opposing team has to kind of lose, but that is in the scheme of us versus them. If we're thinking about it as humanity versus uncomfortability, if you will, then if uncomfortability loses at the end of the day, then it's the humanity that wins, and that's the point we're trying to get at. It doesn't have to be humans losing. It can be these uncomfortable emotions losing at the end of the day. We should be sharing. I agree. Stopping by to show some love. Hey, it's truly yours. You're probably long gone because I'm 17 minutes behind on comments. I'm coming, my friends. I wish I had like a scroller wheel that I don't have to reach forward so that I can just like do like 65 comments back. If not more, my friend. If not more. Haven't read my comment, but nice seeing you, mate. Nice seeing you as well, my friend. Haven't read my comment. I think I've read your comments. Thank you for the wholesome. Thank you for the hugs, my friend. Have you ever surfed with Jordy? No, I've not. What are your thoughts on marijuana? I'm a big fan. I cry a lot. Me too. I almost never cry. Oh, Lane. It's okay not to cry as well. I don't know. Do I cry a lot? I cry. I cry at least once a month. So I guess not a lot, but I cry enough. I cry the adequate amount. Even if someone else does it, it is still you doing it. The fuck, yeah, dude. So, like that realization is just coming to terms with we are thinking of ourselves as these, singular, separate beings. But we're sharing this space with other singular, separate beings. And this consciousness that we're experiencing together is one consciousness. Like there is no separation in the consciousness that we're experiencing. So if that conscious experience has to do something, it is still your conscious experience doing it. It's just not your physical body doing it. So it's still you doing it. It's just not the you that you think you are that's doing it. I'll kill a mosquito, kill all mosquitoes. Don't kill all mosquitoes, my friend. They're still essential to our food chain. What you can do, though, is you can kind of genetically edit them so that during their larval state, they produce eggs so that they don't have to drink blood in their adulthood. So there's a mosquito species that in its larval state produces its eggs, where normal blood-sucking mosquitoes don't do that. So in their adult states, they have to get a big, bump of energy so they can actually produce eggs, and that's why they drink blood. So what we can do is just take the DNA of those mosquitoes, edit it into the genomes of other mosquitoes, and that way they will still reproduce and they will still have young, but they would not have to drink blood anymore as a result of that, which is pretty cool to me. Sending aloha and loving the look. Keep my friend's family in prayer. She passed on March 27th, and I've been a friend for nearly 30 years. Took care of her 3 children at the school. Sending her love and light, my friend, and sending you love and light as well. I'm sorry that happened. But at the end of the day, death is just a transformation of energy. She's not gone. Like, she's still actively living in your heart, and I'm sure in the hearts of her children and the other people that she influenced as well. You could be influencing the local ecology through your intervention with the spider. It is impossible to know. You're probably fine. Yeah, it is impossible to know. Everything's impossible to know as well. That's the whole not knowing aspect of this existence that we kind of have to ease into. Just sending love out to all. Thank you. It's just a formality. I appreciate the love you're sharing, my friend. I dig this dude's positivity and vibes. I wish I was... Is there a bug? You see it? Damn it. I wish I could come out in this tone of his... come out in the tone of his voice. I dig this dude's positivity and vibes. I wish I was that every time that I broke wind, that it could come out. Like, that is the weirdest message I've ever read in my entire life. Thank you, I guess. I hate killing bugs, but those shongololos, centipedes, F those things, and their evil, creepy legs. So, like, centipedes aren't necessarily the same things as shongololos, actually. Interestingly enough, Jovan, shongololos have these hard shells, and they can curl up like in a spiral, where centipedes have those like spaces. And yeah, I'm like 100% on board with the centipede hating, but shongololos are so slow and so chill, and they like having back rubs. I don't know, like, don't ask me how I know that, but yeah, like, I'm chill with them. It wasn't a large spider. I have no clue where it is anymore, though. You see, that could be more unsettling as well. But it knows where you are. It knows where you are, Dan. I'm struggling with a decision, friends. Do I continue smoking weed in my free time? Or do I limit myself to using it as a social activity with friends? That's a good question as well, Dan. And I think at the end of the day, you're going to have to ask yourself that question. Do you feel it is a necessary change for you to only smoke it with friends? Do you think, like, the thing that I'm thinking about it as well, it might just be my bias, if you're only going to be smoking when you're smoking with friends, it might not mess you up, but you know what I'm trying to say. It might, like, be anxiety inducing because you don't have tolerance. Like, that's the only thing that's stopping me. You probably thought about it as well. Cool. Where can I find the podcast? I'll send the link on the Discord, my friend. At least when we're finished. Aren't they poisonous? Some spiders are, but not the golden orb weavers. I do like spooters. This one just surprised me. Love your mindset, man. Thank you, Wizzy. I appreciate you as well, my friend. There's a YouTube that interviews their life story because we all have a story to tell. Yes, we do. Interview homeless. That's really cool, actually. I'm happy that they're doing that. Do you have a job or anything? Nope. I'm unemployed, and I'm not planning on being employed this entire year. Um, my intention for this year is to completely give myself from a place of love. Uh, Seems interesting to check out. It does actually. Well said. Thank you, my friend. It's not Nike. It's Nike. It's a Greek word. Excuse me, Dan. Maybe I'm doing it on purpose because I don't want to encourage or promote their brand even more. Hmm? You don't know. Nike. I'm gonna go and get on my bikey and drive to my friend Mikey, and then I'm gonna tell him I likey him. I'm just pulling your leg, but yeah, like I've said it Nike in my mind for so long that I have a very hard time not saying it. If you support Nike, you support low pay, heavy hours. Exactly. That's the thing as well, my friend. Only like Air Force Ones. I don't know what Air Force Ones are. Just Air Force and Jordans. I don't know what I like. I know what Jordans are. I know they're a type of shoes, but I'm not that obsessed with shoes either. That's interesting, Melton. I've never thought of it like that. Wearing certain brands and believing in their message. That's one way that I think about it. At least it doesn't necessarily have to be that way, but it is a an interesting way to think about the clothing we choose to wear. The two kids, yes, my friend, that video is saved in my phone. Oh, the two kids. Yeah, the two kids about the kid giving the piece of cake. It's so beautiful. Food is scarce, appreciating the little things. Yeah. Well, in Brazil, it really is about appreciating the little things. Hey, Destructor Disc. Hey, what's up, Melt? How's it going, friend? It's going well, my friend. It's going well. I'm feeling a lot more relaxed, a lot more calm, a lot more grounded, and it makes me happy. It's how it's supposed to be. How did you get back to South Africa when lockdown and the shit hit, dude? Like it was a mission and a half. I wasn't able to come back to South Africa initially, and I had to like catch a repatriate flight that put me back. How much was it? $2,000 for one plane ticket. One way plane ticket as well. But I'm happy to be back, my friend. I'm the very same. I love interacting with people, but I also value alone time. I believe it's called an ambivert. I didn't know there was a word for it. Thank you, Lane. That's sick. So I'm an ambivert. The more we know. Anyone else seeing that bird fly right behind him? Like, there would probably be a lot of birds flying right behind me. They're a little bit quieter as of late. It is becoming winter, so maybe they're hiding. Yeah, that was cool. I'm happy that you friends saw it. I love you, my brother. I love you too, my friends. All right, one of my favorite teams are playing today. Gotta watch the Valorant tournaments. Enjoy, Lane. Thank you for being here with us. Good to chill with you all. I'll see you guys on Discord. Peace and love, my friends. Thank you, Lane. I'll see you again a little bit later. Say dude more. Dude and friend and guy and bruh. Have you noticed any long-term effects from smoking? I say dude more. That's hilarious, actually, Jovan. Like I don't feel I've had too many side effects from smoking. Um, not really. Not so much with like weed or anything. Maybe. Hmm. I'm like really asking my consciousness now to how I'm feeling about that question. Maybe in some ways, at least with my way of talking. Like I feel I'm definitely a little bit more present almost in some ways when I'm smoking. Like I'm more eager to listen, and I've learned a lot from that state of mind as well, and I've tried to listen more, if that makes any sense. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, Lane. Oh, that's beautiful. What do mosquitoes do for the world? They feed other beings that live in this world with us. Their food. No, they don't. We, yeah. Nice curls, King. Thank you, my friend. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you, Management Annie. I hope that you have a great day as well. Hey, Jesse, is Jesse here? Where's Little Red? No, 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 no. I don't see her actually. I don't see her. Oh, there she comes through. I'm trying to say hi, but I don't know. My comments are going through. Yeah, that's the first comment that I saw, actually. That's interesting, Jesse. Hey, I'm happy that you're here with us, my friend. Mosquitoes provide a food source for dragonflies, spiders, frogs, birds, etc. There we go. Yeet. I agree. Thank you for the hugs, my friend. I haven't heard Shongololo in so long. Shongos are veg, and centipedes are meat eaters. Hmm. I don't know. Like centipedes are meat eaters. That gives them even more of a like a rilling, the the goosebumps down the neck feeling. Is that the same as a millipede? I'm not sure either, actually. I see you, Jesse. Yeah, you were seeing her, Edmund, but now we can all see you. It seems, Jesse. Like for some reason, the comments are so weird sometimes. I don't know why that happens, but it irks me as well. You're seen. We see you, Jesse. We see you. I'm happy that you're here with us, my friend. Tolerance has never been an issue for me. I've been smoking for about 10 years, so I feel like I have almost a perma tolerance. Okay, then it's fine, Dan. Like, how do you feel about it then, my friend? Like, is it like there is a lot of things that you can do, right? At the end of the day, I think the best thing to do is just to employ the Socratic method. Question yourself. Ask yourself, why is it you want to do it? What is it? What is it going to do for you? Is it going to help you in your social interactions? Is it going to help you in your productivity? Is it going to save you enough money to justify it? Like, there's so many questions you can ask yourself that can give you a resoluting answer, but it is going to be it's gonna have to come from inside of you at the end of the day. Do you work for a living? Not currently, my friend. I've been working for a living for the past 4 years, before the last 5 months, where I kind of took off from doing that, at least for a bit. I left and came back, and my comments weren't there. That's weird, Jesse. Like your comments, I can see them now, fortunately, and I'm happy to be able to. Hello, my South African techno loving friend. Hey, Zanger. I'm happy that you're here with us, my friend. My guy doesn't wear sneakers. He wears Jesus sandals. Like, I have a pair of what they call Jordans that I'm dancing with as of late because the grass gets cold in the mornings. Technically, my feet get cold in the mornings, but yeah, it's it's not necessarily what I want to be doing. There is like a grounding effect when we touch our planet with our bare feet as well. Sometimes when I smoke, I get brain fog and become more introverted. It keeps me from organizing my thoughts and being creative when this happens. You see, so if this is something that happens as a reoccurring thing, then it's definitely a good idea to maybe reconsider when you're going to smoke. Or maybe just, again, giving yourself a certain time in which you're allowed to smoke. So you only smoke after your workday, for example. Then it wouldn't be necessarily possible for you to be creative, or you wouldn't have a need to be creative in that space. Good to see your face. Good to have you here as well, Katie. I'm happy that you joined us for a bit, my friend. Oh yeah, mine does that sometimes too. Just Reddit being Reddit, I guess. How old are you? My body is 22 years old, Wizzy. If only, if one was planning a holiday to South Africa, where would you recommend visiting? A place called the Drakensberge. It's quite a vibe. Uh, Dragon Mountains? I'm pretty sure it's just Drakensberge, which is technically directly translated Dragon Mountains. It's beautiful. It's absolutely amazing. Like, if I could recommend a place, it'd be there. Yeah, yeah, it's a sick place. Really, really cool. But like South Africa is pretty big, and we have a lot of cool stuff. And I'm not exactly a tour guide. Yeah, maybe one day. Who knows? If one was oh, I've already read your comment. My boy, I always wake up and catch a wake and bake with you. I'm happy that you're here with me, my friend. Thank you for spending this time sharing some consciousness with me in this moment. When you said that perspective has made us listen more, I was like, have I done that? Then I'm like, bruh, that's me right now. Right? Right? Like, that is literally what it is, dude. It makes you listen more. It kind of like stops you from wanting to interject, and it gives you that calm in a way that you actually want to absorb the information that's being sent to you. And you don't even necessarily have to remember all of it, but you're more prone to want to feel things, even be it the things that are being said to you. Shongos are African though. Yeah. Are they? I didn't know that actually. Are they only in South Africa? I'm kind of curious to know. Shongololos. Like I'll maybe I'll send a photo on the Discord as well with that spotter about what Shongololos look like. Oh, awesome, that's very cool, thank you. So just an African breed of a millipede. I think it may be. It may be. Like I'm curious now to see. I'll send some photos. Then probably have a slight difference, but it's the same thing. I'm curious now as well. You can send some of your photos and I'll send some of mine. My comments took a minute to travel to SA. Understandable. Yeah, it's quite far, like 12. Is it 12,000 kilometers? Like what, 9,000 miles? Need to do quick maths. 8,000 something? Yeah, it's a distance. Maybe it's understandable it takes a minute. Even though it shouldn't, technically, but thank you for the helpful, tactful chemist. I'm happy that you're here with me, my friend. How have you been? Life isn't a game with winners and losers. It's an opportunity to learn to love each other more and better. Yes, absolutely. Every single opportunity, every single experience, every single happening in our lives are, I said opportunity twice, but I'm going to say it again, are opportunities for us to extend ourselves or to strengthen our commitment to love and our love for each other. It doesn't have to be scarcity oriented. We can love each other regardless because there's no lack of love inside of ourselves. So we can just give this love nonetheless. Cool. I learned something new today. Thank you, friend. Yeah, me too. Millipedes. I knew about centipedes, but I didn't know about. Well, actually, millipedes would mean million, right? Where centipede would mean century. So millipede would be 1,000, and we do call them a duizendpoot as well, on top of Shongololo. So a duizendpoot, a poot is like a foot, a foot, and then duizend means 1,000, so 1,000 feet. So millipede, pretty cool. Some of his thoughts easier to understand if you're from Southern Africa. Oh, so some of my thoughts hard to understand? I'm curious now, actually. I don't think my accent necessarily has to be that big of a barrier, and I think my English is relatively decent. Most of the time, at least. I hope there's no communication gap. You don't find chongos in the US. Okay, I'll send a photo of what chongos look then. Shongololos. I like how I've been talking about shongololos for 20 minutes now. Yeah, pretty much. And it's completely fine as well. Shongololos. Man, I really enjoy just how much novelty and experience there are all around us all the time. Like we get to live such full experience lives just with the things that happen almost naturally. Like if you spend a day just kind of sitting down on the ground and like go and find a place that maybe is in nature and you just kind of stare at a patch of like grass or a patch of soil with plants and stuff, you'll see so much just looking at that. You'll see like little ants whizzing by carrying some food. You'll see butterflies coming and pitter pattering. You'll see maybe some flies trying to find something dead. You'll see like maybe a millipede, going on his way. You'll see little, like if you look up, you'll see little birds as well having their lives. And it's such a testament to me how there are these whole experiences everywhere constantly, like literally just sitting here and watching this grass, I'm going to see something right in this day. It's almost impossible for me to not see something, and it's amazing to me. It's amazing to me how much we have to experience. How is this getting downvoted though? It's completely okay as well, my friend. It's like water off the back of a duck. Because one, as soon as I start these streams, I open up the comment section, so the amount of views I get kind of goes stagnant with the amount of views I had the moment I clicked it. and it also hides the upvote, hides the time, hides the amount of awards, because that stuff is so unimportant, and it's not what I want to be, putting into my mind, not what I want to be worried about. So people that downvote don't really don't really affect at all how it is we're feeling, right? It's just at the end of the day an expression of self. Hey TK, I'm happy that you're here, my friend. So, and then thank you for the helpful. TK is another streamer who has a beautiful daughter, has a little boy on his way. He streams like just TK World stuff. He'll take you with him to his job. Maybe he chills in the car, having some chats with friends. It's always nice to see you, TK. And I think like you stream for long stretches. Like I've seen you go for 2.5 hours more than once. Take my hats off for you, dude. Strong dude. Are you a gamer? I like if you asked me like literally 2 months ago, I would have said yes, resounding yes. But like I feel right now, I have a little bit of a hard time calling myself a gamer because I've not been playing any games. Entire little universes everywhere you look. Yeah, literally, Edmund. And these entire little universes, and it's gorgeous. Like for birds to me is like one of these things that I'm really fascinated by, because there are so many experiences that you can have just watching birds, the way that they talk to each other, the way that they jump and kind of express themselves, the way that they defend their nests against any of the other birds. It's like this whole expression of life in this single moment, and it's beautiful. Love your feed, and I love you, TK. I love yours as well, man. Thank you for being here with me, my friend. Dan, us Americans get it worse too. It's actually Nikkei. Oh, the Nike thing. Nikkei. It's Nikkei. It's not Nike. It's not Nike. It's Nikkei. Interesting lurking. I've never heard that before. Same. I always get good things to do. I always got good things to say. I could learn a lot from you. Thank you, my friend. We could learn a lot from each other, and I think that's the point at the end of the day as well. Like it's very easy for us as human beings to get caught up in this ability for us to teach, right? And if you kind of identify as a teacher, it's very easy for you to completely shut yourself off from learning anything from other people. And that's the last thing that I want for myself. I believe we should actively and constantly learn and grow in our expression and be able to listen to someone like they have a lesson to teach you as well. And thank you, my friend, for all of the lessons you have taught me in this process as well. What games did you play when you were one? I played a lot of Dota, actually. Like I have probably 2,000 plus hours in Dota. It's a strategy game. It's a game you have to kind of get good at, and I enjoyed getting good, and I enjoyed the process of playing the game. But I felt like this one day I was playing support of AA, Ancient Apparition, this absolute trash hero. But I randomed him, so like you press one button, you get one of the 115 euros, and I was like, now I have to support with this trash hero, and I died like 15 times. Okay, like I think the thing that really broke my spirit in that game was the fact that I like died in lane, and you have this, and I know some of you don't care at all, but I'm getting to a point. So you have these couriers that bring your items to you in lane. So I died when my courier was already at my tower. So I dropped my boots behind my tower so that when I TP back into my lane, I can just pick up my boots, and then I have my boots instead of having my courier stay there, which is dangerous, or having my courier run back to base and then back to my lane when I TP there. It's like technically it's a good play, right? You're saving yourself time and you're being more efficient. And then my lane carry, he literally lures one of the enemies towards my boots, and he destroys it. And for a support, boots is like a big thing because you don't get to last hit creep, so you don't get money. And like it was like a 5-minute boots for me or something like that. So I spent 5 minutes being slow as, And then I got my boots, and I was actually happy about my boots. And then I watched my boots get destroyed, and it was like soul crushing. I was like, "Ah!" And then like the game kind of just went on, and it was toxic, and I was like in a bad mood because of my boots getting destroyed. And I kind of recognized within myself how I was getting toxic with this whole situation of my boots getting like destroyed, with having to support as a trash hero, getting like completely like stomped. Like, and the thing is as well, when you fall behind like that, like you kind of want to get some HP items later on as a support, just so you can survive at least a second when someone jumps you. But because I like got my boots literally 3 minutes later than I was supposed to. Oh man, I'm like getting into it really now. I just got like completely dumpstered over and over again. Died like, I think it might have been more than 15 times. Like I think at the end score, I like had like 0 kills and 23 deaths, and I was like, you know what? I'm done with this game, and I just deleted it like once, and it was satisfactory, and it was like 2 months ago now, and I haven't played it again. There's like 12 syllables. Oh, and thank you for the now or the wow. I appreciate it, Dan. I'm sorry I spaced out a little bit. There is nothing I love more than burbs and trees. Yeah, burbs and trees are absolute gifts of this world, my friend. Still live. Yeah, yeah, I'm still live actually, but just for a few more seconds, my friend. It's Nihaki. Ni Nihaki. Oh man, I would laugh myself to death. There's like 12 syllables. Yeah, keep all of them syllables. Jovan, this is getting out of hand. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. My imagination is running. Let it run. I don't play Dota. Right now I'm jamming CSGO. I miss playing with people from ZA. Yeah, the thing is as well, like, that's the thing with Dota, and that's why it was so popular in South Africa and so popular with me. It's because we have local servers, so we don't have to deal with extreme latency and ping. And that's why this game was big in South Africa. But if you're being destructive towards yourself and others, then it's not something that you need to continue. Everyone needs to choose for themselves. For me, the less I smoke, the more I enjoy it. And I've experienced that as well, actually, Aaron. Ever since starting to smoke after 420, I've also enjoyed smoking a little bit more. And my friends, that is... Oh, I almost sent a link. I didn't even know you can do that. But thank you, my friends. Thank you for sharing the space with me. Thank you for being here with me today. I appreciate your presence so much. I hope to see you again.